In this video, we're going to talk about client success for your coaching business.
That's right, guys. In this video specifically, we're going to show you how to run an awesome client onboard call. So let's jump in.
Welcome back to our How to Launch Your Online Coaching Business in 30-Day series. If we have not met yet, we are Jess and Jeff. We're a couple of online business coaches, and we built 2 six-figure online coaching businesses, both within 90 days, completely organically. And now we're sharing with you the lessons we learned along the way to shortcut your success.
So in this video, we're going to talk about client success, which is awesome.
So awesome.
But more specifically, we're going to talk about how to run your client onboarding call so that you can give them a good experience, get them up and running fast, and get them some quick wins, some day one results.
Very exciting.
Super exciting. Should we jump in?
Let's go. First, let's talk about your client onboarding call framework. Welcome them into your program and get to know them a bit.
Yeah, guys, this is step 1. Don't just get straight into it. No, have a little bit of business foreplay right here. You know what I mean?
Make it fun.
Exactly. Get to know each other, create a relationship, because you guys are going to be hanging out for at least, if it's a 90-day coaching program, the next 3 months together. So the least you can do is just see how they're doing, learn a little bit about them, and see what makes them excited.
Exactly. Well said, Jay.
So time-wise, this should last about 5 to all the way up to 15 minutes. If they're a talker, cool, let them talk. Let them feel heard, because most people, if we're being honest, they don't have many people that listen to them.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Now they have you, and you're going to be a good listener. Not only that, when people are getting ready to get on their onboard call with you, they're going to be a little nervous, They're going to be anxious and excited, and there's going to be a lot of nerves going. And so just taking that time in the beginning, that 5 to 15 minute timeline, just to let them kind of talk and get used to the environment, get used to you and chat with you and have some fun in the beginning, just completely disarms them and gets them more prepared and kind of settles their energy a bit for those next steps in your onboard call.
Perfectly said. So to recap on that, 5 to 10 minutes for this is perfect, just enough time. That takes us to the next part.
Get them emotionally invested. Talk about their goals and why.
Super important.
So important.
Yeah, and so we made this mistake in the past where we would just get people's goals, which is great. Goals are great because then you get a black and white outcome that we're shooting for. And so at the end of the 90 days or however long the coaching program is, it's like, do we hit it? Yes or no? Black and white, simple. The problem with goals, though, is for a lot of people, they don't motivate them. They don't keep them motivated every single day.
Exactly.
But we found out what does keep them motivated on those days that are tough, and it's the reasons why. So the reasons behind their goals, super, super important. You want to touch on this, or you want me to keep rolling?
Well, I was just going to say that in our onboard call, this takes up quite a good chunk of the call. And it's not just the goals. The why is what takes up so much time, because now they're like putting themselves into this position of, okay, why am I doing all of this? And they're telling you their dreams and desires, and you can really pay attention to where the story is going, just so that when it comes to the program, they're like, okay, well, I need to hit, this goal and that goal. And it's like, okay, but let's remember the why too. Let's stay motivated behind this why.
Exactly. Yeah. So to give like a real world example, we can do one with fitness. We love using fitness as an example. Is if the outcome that we're shooting for in 3 months is, let's help you lose 20 pounds in 90 days. Well, a couple weeks in, when they're really hungry, their stomach's growling, they're gonna be like, fuck the 20 pounds, you know what I mean? But then if the reason why they wanna lose those 20 pounds is so that they could get back in their wedding weight, oh my gosh. And so then at that wedding weight, they probably remember some really good times from that. Like maybe they also remember the honeymoon in Mykonos.
Yeah, exactly. Wearing the bikini or whatever they were wearing on the beach.
Right. So instead of us trying to coax them and, give them a nudge and try to motivate them, be like, come on, hey, you're a third of the way there. Like, let's freaking go. Let's lose those 20 pounds. That's what you want. No, what they really want is to get back into that
Mykonos fit.
Mykonos fit. Yeah, so really that's when their motivation's slumping. Make sure that you are able to loop in the reasons why, because that's going to invigorate them again.
Yeah, and it's really cool to see what motivates people, and you'll start to see trends among your clients of who you're attracting, that there's so many things that align. And then you're
going to be able to use that and put that in your marketing.
Exactly. Ooh, okay, maybe save that one for another video, but that's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, even look at us. Like, the way that we market is we're not just like, hey, build a coaching business for coaching business's sake. No. It's build a coaching business so that you can have the freedom to build the lifestyle you want. Lifestyle freedom. Very, very important things.
Exactly. Those are our two main drivers for doing what we do. But of course, the other part of that is making an impact. And so once you find these whys as to why these people have these amazing goals, it's like, okay, now this is the lighter fluid we need to hit these goals to reach the success that we want at the end of our coaching program.
Beautiful.
Next, set clear expectations and explain your support structure. Really important here.
We learned this one the hard way, like most coaches do.
I'm glad we did, because we've really systematized it and made sure that we are very crystal clear on our onboard call with what the expectations are and the support moving forward. But this is such a crucial piece, just so that your new client knows what to expect, and then also how to communicate with you so that you can best help them and get them the best results.
That's right. So what we suggest is just having one clear point of communication, one mode of communication for your coaching program. So here's what that looks like, or at least what it looks like for us with our private one-to-one clients. It's like, hey, we're going to give you this private Slack channel. And if there's ever a coaching comment that needs to be made, or if you need some specific help, put it in your Slack channel. That's the one point of communication. That being said, we will give you some love on your Instagram, on your YouTube, but if there's ever a coaching point to be made from us, or if you are asking for specific help, put in your Slack channel. Don't put it on Instagram. Don't put it in email. Don't carrier pigeon it. You know what I mean? One point of contact. That way it keeps things really simple and efficient for both the client and the coach side.
Exactly. And think of it too, when they're reaching out for support, as your notes on the client as well. And so if there's a reoccurring issue that's coming up, you can scroll back and be like, okay, so what was the trigger for this issue back then? You know, are we still dealing with that today, or has it evolved into something different? How could I have handled this better? And, you know, my next time I'm dealing with this type of issue. So that way you just have everything very collected into one area. You're not checking your text messages, checking your DMs, checking this, checking that, going all over the place, checking your emails, all this stuff. And it makes it just so simplified again. And so you get, you know, when you get, for us, a Slack notification from somebody, it means, okay, they need some support.
Beautiful.
Next, give your client a clear roadmap, execution plan, and next step. So you do such a great job with this, because just think, when your client is coming onto the call, they don't really know what to expect or what their next steps are, or, you know, the specific action steps they're going to need to take to be successful. And so by you having your client come on the call and you have this beautiful roadmap laid out for them, so that they're like, okay, I see the vision, I'm calm, I know where I'm going at least. Of course, there's going to be some gray area where you're going to customize things in between, but at least there's that roadmap, that timeline that they can say, okay, wow, I can see the full picture.
Yeah, beautiful. I mean, you said it very, very well. Like, when we lay out the vision for them of what their next steps are, that's immediately going to give them a sense of relief. It's going to calm them when they have that clarity. And then, like Jess says, you know, we lay out the roadmap so they know exactly what's going to happen. But then the last piece of that is custom tailoring it to them and letting them know what their personal next action steps are.
Yeah.
So then they could leave that call and literally day one, take action, get some freaking awesome results.
Yeah, and so it kind of goes back to when you're presenting this roadmap, execution plan, and their next steps. As you're going through it with them, don't be afraid to custom tailor some parts to it for them, especially as you are figuring out their specific situation, where they are currently at. I mean, bonus points for you to be able to go in and be like, okay, roadmap, see the big vision, but here's where we're going to custom tailor a few things to fit your exact situation. Client feels heard, they're excited, they see like, oh wow, this works exactly for me, this is exactly what I need, beautiful, and then they can just follow the plan. And of course, you can help them with support along the way. And finally, ask if they have any questions. So this is a big one. Save time at the end of the call. Make sure all of their questions are answered before they get off the call.
Right. Can I jump in on this a little bit?
Please.
Make sure that throughout the onboarding call, make sure that you're the one steering the direction. And if they have questions that come up that are not related to what you guys are specifically talking about in that moment, then be like, hey, Don't worry, we'll come to that. We'll get to that a little bit later, but we have a process of doing things. That way, the call doesn't get off track. You're able to hit all these other points, the welcome, get them emotionally invested, set clear expectations, and give your client a clear roadmap, and you give them action steps inside of that coaching call, whether it is just half hour or an hour, but we don't want it to get off track. And like Jess said, make sure that you just leave the extra time at the end to see if they have any questions. And just, most people won't. They'll have maybe one or two, but just giving them that chance to have a question makes them feel heard.
Exactly. You said it beautifully, Jay.
Yeah. Couple of other things I want to touch on right here is make sure during this when we're looking at the call holistically, make sure that you're coming in with really good energy. You're excited for them, because think about them. They just invested a whole bunch of money with you. This is an exciting experience for them. So to the best of your ability, come on in a great, excited mood for them. So then that excitement's going to be contagious. It's going to rub off on them as well.
Exactly. Prep for the call. Get your energy up. Do whatever you need to do 30 minutes before to really hype yourself up so that you can have that same energy and do that with the client when they're on the call with you. You may be a little tired after the call, but by God, will it be worth it to know that you hyped your client up and they are just as excited as you are.
Yeah, that's a really good point right there. Is we actually spend way more time prepping for our client onboard calls than our sales calls. We suggest you do the same because you're about to go on a journey with these people for the next 3 months, at least in your coaching program. So it makes sense to start things off with a bang, as we would say.
I love that. Yes, agreed. Well said, Jay.
Should we tie a bow on it?
Let's tie a bow on it, babe. So that's all we got for this video. If you have any questions, drop them down below. Or if you want our personal help in building a 10K to 50K online coaching business you love in 90 days guaranteed, go ahead and book a call below. We'll be happy to chat with you. Can't wait. Other than that, we'll see you in the next video.